Hello, everyone. You may have seen a few of these signs around town. The message is very simple. I'm Jim Pierce, and I'd like to continue serving you as a selectman. Why? Well, I have three very good reasons why. Their names are Drew and Will and Ben, and I want my grandchildren to get the best possible education that the town of Sandwich can afford. If you've watched the recent Selectmen's meetings, School Committee and Finance Committee, you will realize that finding the balance point between quality and affordability is not easy, but it comes with the job of selectmen. I want them to grow up in a community where they'll be safe, and I don't just mean the police and fire department safe. The roads and sidewalks have to be maintained. They have to have adequate public health and sanitation, as well as supervised recreational opportunities and access to state-of-the-art library facilities. Now, as they're growing up, I want them to take pride in Sandwich. I want them to be proud of the way that we assist our seniors, proud of how we respect and preserve our heritage. I want them to recognize what we do to conserve our natural resources, especially those beaches, dunes, and marshes that keep the Cape Cod Bay out of our front yard. And when they are grown up, I would like at least one of them to be able to get a good job in Sandwich and stay here and raise yet another generation of my family that has called Sandwich home for nearly the town's entire history. Those are my reasons. Again, Andrew, William, and Benjamin. Those are my reasons for wanting this job. Now, what will I do if you choose to return me to office? Well, I'll start by referring to this document right here. This is the Sandwich Local Comprehensive Plan. It's a terrific document. It was written in about 2008. It was adopted by town meeting in 2009, and shortly thereafter the Cape Cod Commission approved it. It's held by the Cape Cod Commission as an example of what a fine local comprehensive plan should look like. As terrific as it is, it's not a great read. It's not a page turner, but it does contain a vision for Sandwich. But it's a little hard to tease out. Another document that's a little easier to read is the Sandwich Town Charter. So in that charter, there's a sentence that says that the selectmen should review a long-range plan that projects the future needs of the town and report on that plan annually to town meeting. So after having picked up the local comprehensive plan and read through most of it, much of it more than once, I went looking for that long-range plan that's called for in the town charter. And it was easy to find. I don't have it here with me right now, but it was about this thick. This is the annual town report that just came out, so it's about 127 pages, I think the long-range plan was 3 years ago. Still not easy to see what the vision for the town was from either of those documents. So I had an idea, and I thought that maybe if we could reduce the long-range plan to 4 or 5 pages, something that we could expect the average voter to pick up and look through, we might make a little progress toward realizing that vision that is in the local comprehensive plan. So here is another document. This is the current draft. It's 5 pages long of the Selectmen's long-range plan. 5 pages. Not a big time commitment. The first draft that I wrote about 1.5 years ago didn't look anything like this one, and that's a good thing, because in the process of developing the Selectmen's long-range plan, it was very helpful to include all the input that we got from the other selectmen, from the town manager, from from the various town department heads. Now, in this long-range plan, there are 4 sections. The first section deals with the services that we currently provide. All those things that I said, education, public safety, and library, and all the little departments that you don't think about routinely when you consider town government. That's section 1. The second section deals with capital asset management. We have quite an infrastructure behind delivering those services. There's an effort to be made to maintain that infrastructure, and some of it is old and certainly not state-of-the-art and not up to servicing a town of 21,000 people. So some of it's going to have to be replaced in the next 5 or 10 years, and these things don't happen overnight. You have to do the planning phase first. So that's the second section, capital asset management. Third section is on economic development. In the 2011 edition of the Selectmen's Long Range Plan, which was only 4 pages long, there wasn't much devoted to economic development. In this 2012 document, which is being printed in the warrant as we speak and which is available on the town website, there is considerably more, and that's because the Sandwich Economic Initiative Corporation has come up with their business plan, and their business plan has been integrated into the Selectmen's Long Range Plan. And the final section is the community pride section. What are we doing to preserve our heritage and to, in particular, conserve our natural resources? Most importantly, I think, are those beaches, dunes, and marshes that are part of the character of our town. So first, I wouldn't present this as a as a vision for the town. It's still a work in progress, and we've got a long way to go until we get to the point where it's a real shared village for our vision for our community. Vision is a difficult thing. It's composed of the visions of a lot of actually everybody in the community, if you can make it happen. I have a vision. And one of the things that I have to do is be careful not to fall in love with my vision, because that would tend to put me in a position where I might not be as willing to incorporate the thoughts of others. Some of the people that contribute, the ones you'd recognize, are town manager, Bud Dunham, our school superintendent, Richard Canfield, some of the developers in town, like Tom Sokolos and Steve Powers, all the members of the Sandwich Economic Incentive Corporation. I'm sure they have a vision of where they want to take us. The other members of the Board of Selectmen, the school committee, the finance committee. It's impossible to name everyone that should have some input. But if we focus on those 4 major categories, delivering services, taking care of our capital assets, economic development, and pride in our community, then we'll end up with a vision of where Sandwich should go and be able to take us on some sort of sustainable course into the 5th century for this town, which I may or may not see when it starts in 2039. But Sandwich will be here. Thank you.